yesterday, I wasn't going to tell this story. I almost didn't make it. Because when I was flying, when I got to the airport, I flew out of Dallas International, right outside of Washington, D.C., and I'm sitting waiting on the flight to be boarded, and they make the announcement that we're going to have to wait a couple minutes because somebody special was coming to board the plane. So I said, oh, who might this be? Then I saw a couple of Secret Service folks walking around. Now, previously, I probably would have known who it might be because we had such a relationship, a good relationship with the previous administration. But in my mind, I knew that this had to be somebody from the new administration. So I said, okay, who is this? And who walks up with Robert Kennedy? And I was so tempted to do something crazy. I mean, I kept my mouth shut. I didn't say anything. The only thing that I did was I prayed that I would not be sitting next to him. Thank goodness he was on one side of the plane, in the front, and I was on the other side. So he wasn't sitting next to me. But I knew that this trip would be worth it because as dismayed as I was to see him on the plane and seeing what this administration is doing to work with people all over the country, I knew that I was going to come to talk with the mighty District Council 36. Every single day. So I wouldn't have missed that for the world. So I just put that tape over my mouth and I didn't say anything and just flew on into Los Angeles. Let me thank Lisa for that introduction. I got to tell you, she read it just like I wrote it last night. We're gonna have some good time this morning. I want to thank her for her service, for serving on the advisory board and being president of Local 2626. I want to thank Lisa for her service as a librarian in the city of Los Angeles. Give her a round of applause. I also want to give a shout out to Sister Veronica Gunn. Where's Veronica? We also have another international vice president in the House from the United Domestic Workers, Joanna Hester. Leading the fight for help for home care, child care workers across the state and across the country. And I probably shouldn't do this because he'll get the big head. But I really think that all of us should thank Walter Blair for the work that he's done. I also want to give a shout out to someone else who is, I think she really enjoys Los Angeles because sometimes I believe she'd rather be here than in Washington, D.C. working with me, and that's Nicole Pollard right now. Working with all of you. But I also, most importantly, I really do want to thank and salute every single one of you for the commitment you've made and the dedication that shown in rough times, building power in District Council 36. Because of your activism, you are ready to emerge from this administratorship with a strong head of steam, prepared to meet big challenges. You are prepared to win today and tomorrow. Are you ready? Now, before I get into the meat of my remarks, I want to say a word about the recent wildfires that caused so much havoc in Los Angeles in January. Thousands of homes were lost, and so many people have a long road ahead to recover and rebuild. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all of them. But the damage would have been far worse if it hadn't been for the courage of AFSCME members on the front lines of the emergency response. Right. But that's what we do. That's who we are. Put our neighbors before ourselves. When things are at their worst, AFSCME District Council 36 is at its best. At the same time that you are serving your communities with pride and honor, you are strengthening your union by organizing and by mobilizing every single day. You're engaging our members. You are engaging our potential members. You are creating a culture of activism within Council 36. You are, as your convention theme says, building power. Building power for a better future. You have leaned into organizing both internally and externally. You have the results to prove it. Now listen to this. As of December, membership is at nearly 20,000 members strong. That didn't happen magically. It happened because everyone in this room rolled up your sleeves. Right. And you got the job done. And I encourage you. I encourage all of you to keep at it. Our AFSCME Strong mandate is for every affiliate across this country to reach at least 70% membership. And then after you reach that 70%, the next goal is to reach 90% membership. We can only do that. We can only do that by connecting with members and having one-on-one conversations every single day. That means aggressive listening. That means hitting those doors. Hitting those doors and talking to folks in the office and in the field on a regular basis. It means creating a relationship with new hires, not just making that initial pitch, but continuing that relationship, talking to them about the reason they should belong and be active in their union, because it's their union as well. We've got to continue those kinds of conversations in the troubled times that face us. We've got to be as strong as we can possibly be to fight the challenges that confront all of us. You've also done outstanding work on external organizing. Your program has brought, get this, 675 public and private sector workers into the family since the administration started. You have done that. All throughout Southern California, public and private sector workers are choosing AFSCME District Council 36 as their own union, and you need to give yourselves a round of applause for what you have done. That includes workers at the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, the Academy Foundation, the Living Desert Zoo, Desert Zoo? Desert Zoo, Kids Space Children's Museum, and the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights. You organized. Yes. You're also bringing in smaller associations representing workers, bringing them into the AFSCME family, and we've got to continue to do that. And the reason that that's happening is because these associations understand that they have power at the worksite. They have a strong seat at the bargaining table. They need a strong union representing them. And they understand the importance of being represented by the baddest ass union on the face of the earth, and that's AFSCME. Successful organizing translates into strength at the bargaining table. We get that. We understand it. Several of your city and Los Angeles locals locked in 21% wage increases over 5 years, while the city of San Diego workers in Local 127 got the same 21% over 3 years. That is AFSCME in action. The LA County Sanitation District Local 18 won a, get this, $20,000 student loan payoff in their most recent contract. It's critical to remember the contract campaigns don't just deliver better wages, don't just deliver benefits, don't just deliver better working conditions. Through education, we can increase our activist base. When we're in those contract fights, we've got to continue to talk to our members and potential members alike, engaging folks in bargaining units that weren't yet members, and getting them to sign a call. You know, the energetic organizing you're doing, the real power that you are building has never been more important. Because right now, public services and public service workers are confronting a new round of vicious and a new round of dishonest attacks. Make no mistake about it. This new administration in Washington has put a target on our backs. Make no mistake about it. The indiscriminate and illegal firings in several federal agencies during the first weeks of this administration are unprecedented. And we happen to represent federal workers in Washington, D.C. And they are under the gun. They are being attacked every single day. I don't think we've ever seen this kind of hostility toward people who dedicate their careers to strengthen their communities. But we're on the front lines of pushing back because we aren't shy, and we aren't timid, and we aren't afraid. So we filed several lawsuits, probably heard about them, to block the firings. Actually filed a lawsuit here in California. It was signed off by one of our affiliates, UNAC, to stop the firing of probationary workers. And right now, that's on hold. The judge said, you can't do it. Now, it'll be challenged, but we were very, very active in that lawsuit. So we got to strategy. Legal challenges all over the country. Social Security Administration, Labor Department, and other administrations and departments across the federal government. You know, I think there's a perception that the overwhelming majority of federal workers live in Washington, D.C. Now, I do. Make no mistake about it, in D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. But get this. There are 150,000 federal civilian workers right here in California. And mass firings and furloughs will have a devastating effect on local economics, dealing a blow to the tax base that funds public services in the state, that funds state and local governments. So we've got to be engaged in this fight. Now I've got to say this. The new administration is following Project 2025 to the letter. Remember, we've been talking about that for quite a while. I know a lot of you were at our convention. It was held in Los Angeles. We talked about the problems associated with Project 2025. They're proposing deep and dangerous cuts to programs that working families need these programs to survive. Here's who's going to get hurt. Seniors and people with disabilities who rely on Medicaid for life-saving care. I don't know if you saw it this week, but the House of Representatives, they're putting together a budget, and they're going after Medicaid to the tune of slashing it by, get this, and I'm not making this up, $880 million. Not billion, I'm sorry. $800 billion. $880 billion. That has an impact on us, has an impact on our families. You're going to have Head Start impacted in a very negative way. Our members and our communities rely and depend upon Head Start. Low-income families will go hungry without nutrition assistance, and they're looking at putting that on the chopping block as well. And here's who will be making out like bandits and laughing all the way to the bank. It's folks who are making billions and billions and billions of dollars who want to make more at the expense of working families, at the expense of what you do every single day and the commitment that you make. I make no mistake about it. None of this is about eliminating waste or making government more efficient, as they say. It's about changing the game. It's all about making the super wealthy even wealthier. I'm not making this up. All you have to do is watch what they're doing every single day. So here's what we need to understand. When federal spending is slashed to the bone, the pain is really felt at the state and local government level. I don't know if you're aware of this statistic, but I want to throw it out. It should really scare you when I tell you this. 33% of state budgets, 33% of that is federal dollars that move into state governments. And they're talking about slashing that money, slashing it by a huge amount that will impact on the services that are being provided every single day by all of you across the state and across this country. That's unacceptable. And we have got to really think about what's happening with our country. And we can't be dismayed, we just can't complain about it, but we've got to organize and mobilize and educate every single day, because this is no exaggeration. Your livelihood relies upon this. What they are trying to do. Taking services away from our communities. Cutting back on federal dollars that help pay their salaries and provide those services that all of us depend upon. But we can't just play defense and try to react to everything that they're saying. We're going to continue to do that. We'll continue to take them to court. We'll win some, we'll lose some. But we've got to go on the offensive. We can and we must organize around the attacks that we're facing, because that's who we are. That's what we do. That's what District Council 36 has been doing for so many years. See some very familiar faces in this audience who've been fighting, making their voices heard constantly. We must educate members and potential members about what these cuts will mean in their lives, for their families, for their communities. We must use the attacks to drive our internal organizing conversations to motivate and to mobilize the 1.4 million members of this great union and our partners all across the country. We must step up our game, leaning into all the union building activities District Council 36 is already engaged in. You've been doing it. But we've got to expand this operation. And we've got to do more. We've got to do it with an even greater sense of purpose, a greater sense of urgency. That means more one-on-ones at work site. It means more employee outreach. It means more blitzes. It means robust contract campaign. It means all of these things. It means a sharper focus on external organizing. We're asking every AFSCME affiliate across the country, not just Council 36, but every affiliate across the country to invest more staff and more resources in external organizing. That means growing our army of volunteer members, our volunteer member organizers, to help us do this very important work. The national level, we have committed to a goal of recruiting, training, and deploying an additional 1,000 volunteer member organizers across the country. We can only do that with the help of our affiliates. You've got to be a part. It also means improving participation in our people program so that we can grow our political muscle. I know a lot of our members don't want to be involved in politics. You've got to be. Because we're a part of what happens in politics will happen to us. Whether it's going to be good, whether it's going to be bad. It means more lobby days and legislative actions to hold elected officials accountable. It's time for our allies to step up and our adversaries to feel the heat. They got to feel it every single day. We need to be relentless about this because this is not a business as usual moment. This is a moment where, and I'm not exaggerating, we are under attack like never before. And it's not going to end anytime soon until we organize and mobilize and educate our members and our communities across the country. Now this week in D.C. I met with the Labor Caucus with the House of Representatives, and we talked about strategy and challenges, had a good discussion. Last week I met with the Democratic Governors Association, telling them that they needed to be in the game, and they needed to work with us to protect public services. We're working with everyone who wants to support our efforts. The state's attorneys general we're talking with, and they're helping us with the lawsuits that we're filing. Everybody has to have skin in the game. But all of us, all of you, you've got to have skin in the game. Can't pull it together. We cannot pull it together without the partnership of all of our affiliates across the country. It has to be a cooperative effort between the National Union and all of our affiliates. You know, I really believe that AFSCME members are ready to hear a pointed message about what's happening at the highest levels of the federal government, about the MAGA agenda, about exactly what the administration and their billionaire friends have in mind. But with all that noise that's out there, we need to help members understand the states. We've got to talk with them. We've got to communicate with them. We've got to listen to what they have to say. We need to help them connect the dots and see the threats to our job and our union, services we deliver, and the communities that we love. We need to stay focused on the issues that really matter in members' lives: budget cuts, health and safety, Medicare and Medicaid. Our opponents want to distract every single day, throwing everything against the wall. But we can't take the outrage of the day, baby. We can't go down that rabbit hole. We've got to be focused. We've got to be strong. And we've got to be organized to make our voices heard and to fight back. If we pick our battles strategically, if we are disciplined about our message, but also relentless about delivering it, we must be relentless. Members will understand. Members will get it because they will understand that this is an attack on them, on public services, on their families, and their communities. So, we're starting a new program. We always got a lot of creative folks back in Washington, D.C. with staff, and they come up with a lot of good programs on the front line when we were out here in, I think it was Los Angeles where we had the bus tour. Right. Well, we're going to start something new. We want to get organized. Potential members will be inspired to sign a card. Current members will be moved to increase their level of activism, to go to a union meeting, to sign up for text alerts, to contribute to people, to participate in a blitz, or to sign up to be a VMO. The theme of this program is Get Organized. Go. G-O, for short. And we're going to be working with all of our affiliates across the country to get this going, to move it forward. Just as you have done in your history for so long, and especially within the past 3 years, under this administratorship, you have grown this union. You have strengthened this union. We've got to do that all across the country. Go get organized. Go. We also have to manage our expectations because we're not going to win every policy fight. I wish I could guarantee you that we could, but we aren't. Federal level, at least we simply don't have the levels of power. But at the state and local government level, we can make a huge difference. We can turn the challenges before us into opportunities. And that's what I'm asking all of you to do. Turn the challenges that confront us into opportunities that we can take advantage of. To build power for a better future. We're prepared to lead this new program, accept this new challenge. We're going around the country talking to all of our affiliates to get on board. And I am asking Council 36 not to start, because you've been doing this, but intensify your work. Continue to talk to those members, continue to grow, continue to organize both internally and externally. If we do that, I guarantee you this, and I've been with this union now for 46 years, we will win more than we lose because of your activism, because of your involvement. Know this, you aren't on an island by yourselves. You're part of a big family. 1.4 million members strong. And I've traveled all over the country, and I am telling you this, and I see it based upon what you've done here in California. We're not demoralized. We're going to roll up our sleeves and we're going to be energized. And we're going to stand up and we're going to make our voices heard and we're going to kick some ass every single day. But we know how to navigate choppy waters. These are the moments. These are the moments when the Mean Green Machine brings its best. When we're on the ropes, that's when we come out punching and we provide that knockout punch, and that's exactly what we're going to